We're going to Florida. Title says Florida woman sentenced for killing her mom, gouging her eyes out, and placing them on a cardboard box. True Crime Daily, published November 30th, 2023. And this is in Palm Beach County. And it says a judge sentenced a woman to 15 years in prison for violently killing her mother 5 years ago and cutting her eyes out. Wow. WPTV TV reports Camille Bala pleaded guilty Monday, November 27th, to manslaughter with a weapon. She already has over 2,000 days of time served because she has been in custody since her arrest in 2018, so she will serve less than 10 years in state prison. Jail records show Bala was originally charged with first-degree premeditated murder. Bala was scheduled to stand trial Friday, December 1st. According to the probable cause affidavit, on March 16th, 2018, at 1:40 a.m., the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office received a call from someone who said his co-worker, Bala, needed them to come over because Bala believed she may have murdered her mother. The co-worker went to Bala's residence on Country Club Way in Royal Palm Beach and found her covered in blood, so they called 911. Deputies arrived and said Bala appeared frantic. She reportedly told one of the responding deputies, "I killed my mother, and I need help." She said her mother was in the garage, so the deputy went inside and found a significant amount of blood spatter throughout the residence. The deputy made his way into the garage and discovered Francisca Monteiro Bala deceased. She was partially clothed with multiple large lacerations on her body. The affidavit says Monteiro's eyes had been removed from her head and placed on a nearby cardboard box. The fire department arrived at the scene to aid Bala, who also had lacerations on her body. She reportedly told officials she smoked cannabis but believed it was laced with flakka, a drug similar to bath salts, or PCP. According to the affidavit, Bala continuously mumbled, screamed, ran around, and eventually fell to the ground. While on the ground, Bala began to spontaneously scream, "I'm a murderer. I'm a murderer." She had cuts on her hands, knees, and fingers, so a deputy transported her to a nearby hospital. Investigators obtained a warrant to search Bala's home several hours later. A trail of blood reportedly led from the living room through the kitchen, where the amount of blood in the trail grew heavier, and into the garage. Investigators found Monteiro Bala with several large, deep lacerations and traumatic injuries throughout her body, including her head, arms, chest, stomach, and groin. The affidavit describes both of her eyes had been removed from their sockets. Several feet away from the victim was a cardboard box which had the victim's eyes on top. Wow. Detectives noticed broken glass that they believe caused the cut on Bala's hands and kneecaps. They also found notes with religious messages on them that related to clearing of the soul, as well as paper with cannabis on it. Wow. That's some horror movie shit right there. Wow. Removed both her eyes from her sockets. Isn't that something, huh? Not only did she commit the actual I think I heard it on the news and whatnot. I don't really know. I only smoke weed. That's about it. I'm pretty boring. I don't even drink alcohol or anything, so I'm not really so much up to date with any of these, I guess, new drugs that the people are into now. Or I don't know how long this has been around, but again, I'm probably one of the most boring people you're ever going to find, like when it comes to that. And I had no idea that was something, but it's a drug similar to bath salts or PCP, and I don't know, by the stories I've heard of both of those drugs, it's pretty intense, and it does make people do some weird shit. I'm probably 10 years ago or something like that. I don't know if you guys remember the whole like bath salts thing with the guy that supposedly ate the other person's face and whatnot, which ended up not being that at all. And it was just something that someone started saying at one point, and it just snowballed into this conspiracy theory that everyone just fell for. But the person that actually did commit the crime had some severe, mental health issues. So, no one talks about that part, but they made up the story of there being like bath salts and shit. And you can look this up. This is public information. I'm not just pulling this out my ass. There's actually a pretty good documentary that explains it. You might find it on YouTube or on Hulu. I don't remember, but if I remember the name, I will post it on chat so that you guys can see it. But well, why am I mentioning this? But yeah, there are certain drugs that can just, I guess, confuse you so much that you could be capable of committing crimes. And I don't know if it's that you won't like know necessarily what you're doing, but do I blame drugs specifically? In this case, no, probably like a 50%, 40%. There has to be other things underlying besides this. There could well be some trauma behind all this. There could be a lot of things involved that we're only seeing the surface of it because we're just reading the case that happened, the consequences. But what caused it or what led it to this point is, I think, the most intriguing part of it. And we can only guess, I guess. We can only imagine it. We can only draw our own conclusions based off of what we just read, but we don't really know. We don't really know the backstory behind all this. But if we were to take it just at face value, based off of what we just read, I think it's a combination of drug use and underlying issues that were already there that I guess were exacerbated because of the drug consumption. I don't know. Let me know in chat. Let me know what you guys think. For this one, we will check out the news website, see what they have to say, see if they have any interesting video, which they do. This is from WPTV.com. I guess this is from West Palm Beach, Florida. Shout out Florida. Title says, a woman who gouged out mother's eyeballs, placed them on cardboard box, pleads guilty to manslaughter.
Southern weather is extreme and strong.
I wasn't counting on this ad, so I'm sorry. Let me make this a little bit bigger. We'll let it go through. Hopefully you guys can see this very well from here. Ad's almost over in about 10 seconds. I don't even have the option to take the ad off. So we have to go through the whole thing. I guess this is like a Windows solution. So there you go. If you need new Windows, just call that number. Just give you guys free promo. I'm not even getting a check for that.
With killing her mother in 2018 has pled guilty. Camille Baya pled guilty to a lesser charge of manslaughter with a weapon after investigators say she gouged her mother's eyes out. Baya was sentenced to 15 years in prison and another 15 years of probation.
That's it. That's pretty short. Let me see, does it have anything else? Another ad. Wow, they're really trying to get you to buy things, huh? Pretty short. I don't know why I had that weird a black square around it, but oh well, nonetheless. This is a perpetrator right here. Gouged their mom's eyes out. That's crazy. Again, it's not so much the crime being committed, but the fact that after you did what you did, then you proceeded to take that extra step. That's crazy and quite terrifying, let me tell you.